Chelsea are aching for a goalkeeper that is the level of where they want to be. Champions League, Premier League winning. I don't think Robert Sanchez is that player, but there are other clubs as well that could do with a goalkeeper like Gianluigi Donnarumma, and the surprise is that he's available.
I know you've been looking forward to this next bit, and so have I. Should we get into some transfer market bargains with the bargain hunter himself?
Yes, indeed. So there is about 2 weeks left until the transfer window closes, and so we want to take a look at some of the players that are still out there and still available that honestly might be out there on the cheap.
I absolutely love this picture. I think let's get into your top 10 then, because you've gone scouring all over Europe to put this together.
So I picked two, I think, players from, or two situations from each of the big 5 leagues in Europe. So I'll start with Dani Vivian. He has a release clause reportedly of 40 million. So I think if there's a team that needs a center back, obviously he will have to want to leave. At one point, Liverpool were linked with him. I think he could definitely be a player that could do a job. He was excellent in the Europa League last year for Athletic Club. And then this is kind of an interesting one for me. Barcelona have 2 nailed-on starters in midfield, Pedri and Frenkie de Jong. Somebody is going to have to be 4th and 5th in that pecking order. So whether it's Gavi, whether it's Dani Olmo, or whether it's Fermín López, they've all been linked elsewhere. They're all great players, and I think could excel if they were given the reins a little bit more than you will have at Barcelona, because Pedri and de Jong are such good players.
And someone would be getting a great midfielder from those 3.
Yes, indeed. Now, this is one that you wanted to talk about as well. Raheem Sterling. So moving now to the Premier League. Raheem Sterling currently at Chelsea. Went on loan last year to Arsenal. Didn't have a good time of it. What for you is the level of club that would make sense for Raheem Sterling at this point in his career? Because I still think that he wants to play for a major team that's in Europe. But do you think that he's of that level?
For me, I've been lucky enough to interview and spend some time with Raheem, and I think he's still motivated about playing in the Premier League. And for me, he's a top 20 Premier League winner of all time. He was instrumental in Pep's success. There's few wingers who have hit the numbers that he has. I think it's over 120 Premier League
But is he still
goals.
There is the question.
I think there's so many variables in football, and I think he's been unlucky. I think Arsenal, they were very much a fluid team moving forward. In a possession-based team with the experience he's got, I think he could be really useful for someone.
All right, let's move now to number 7 then in terms of Premier League players. Ollie Watkins is one that's been linked all over around the Premier League. Newcastle is one that's been around. And with Villa are in an interesting spot right now because they keep letting players go without too many suggestions of who they might bring in. I think part of that, or a large part of that, is financial. Is there a place you can see him going?
I think anyone would be getting a good forward, and I think he's been linked every window. But with the teams in the Premier League he's been linked for, they've gone and got their number 9.
Yeah, well, I mean, Newcastle is still being linked with Yohan Wissa as well. We'll see what happens with Isak. I wouldn't be surprised if Newcastle came in for him at the end of the window. Now, moving now to number 6. This is the one player that I picked from the Bundesliga, Nick Woltemade. I'm not certain how much you've seen of him, but this is a player that is being nicknamed 2-meter Messi, because he's 6'6", and yet still has incredible dribbling ability, has great skill. Bayern have been in for him as one of the players they've been linked with all window long. They need more attacking solutions, but I can see other clubs maybe looking at attacking, striking options that can maybe turn to Woltemade.
I don't want to hear Messi's name compared with anyone else, but a 2-meter Messi is
2-meter Messi is a good nickname.
Who have you got in at number 5?
Number 5 then. Let's go to Randal Muani, who I think there's a player here. And I don't know if Juventus is going to be the team that's going to bring him back. He went over there on loan, I think performed pretty well. They went and got Jonathan David. They still want to keep Randal Muani, but have to figure out a way to resource that. So I think that there's a real bargain to be found with Muani moving for PSG, because obviously he's not fancy there anymore. So you can probably get 35, 40 million. I appreciate that that is a lot of money, but for striking terms, it might honestly be fairly cheap.
This is my kind of supermarket. All the international places we've got, you can get whatever you want.
This is very much this is a supermarket with a lot of flavor, isn't it?
Who's coming in at number 4?
Donnarumma. I mean, we know that he wants to go. You want to talk about bargains? Again, you're going to have to pay a big salary, and that he's been on a big salary at Paris Saint-Germain. But normally goalkeepers like this are 50, 55, 60 million, and the reports are that he's out there for 25 million. Who are the? I mean, the main club for me that makes the most sense for is Chelsea. Chelsea are aching for a goalkeeper that is the level of where they want to be. Champions League, Premier League winning. I don't think Robert Sanchez is that player, but there are other clubs as well that could do with a goalkeeper like Gianluigi Donnarumma, and the surprise is that he's available, and so someone doesn't have to take advantage of that.
Who we got in at number 3?
Eliesse Ben Seghir at Monaco. You could also do / Magnus Akliouche, who is now the latest to be linked to Tottenham Hotspur, now that Eberechi Eze looks to be on his way to Arsenal. So with Ben Seghir, these are the two talented wingers that they have in the team. He's certainly one of them. The Moroccan has been wonderful down that left side, projects really well as a top-level prospect. If you're out there looking for wingers, again, you can go out there, get Premier League proven with someone like Mohamed Kudus, who Tottenham spent a lot of money on. It's worked out well so far. But I think Ben Seghir, in terms of if you're trying to project who's going to be next in a wide area, he's definitely one of them for Monaco.
And the last two?
Let's go to Serie A. So let's go to Ademola Lookman, who obviously Atalanta drove a hard bargain with Inter. It seems like they've moved on. They went and got Kristovic, and so it seems like maybe they're not going to be going for him. But just because it maybe didn't work out for him in the Premier League previously, this is a player who almost single-handedly won Atalanta the Europa League in that final when they beat Bayer Leverkusen, has delivered season upon season. There's got to be someone that's in form. And maybe he stays at Atalanta and it works out with Ivan Juric, but it seems like he had come to his end of his cycle there. And I'm surprised that they're not cashing in on him now. And if there's a team out there that's looking for a top-level left winger, I could easily see him being that kind of player.
Stacked list. And the last spot?
Staying with Atalanta and Giorgio Scalvini. If you want to find a really good, talented young defender, we saw Leoni go from Parma to Liverpool for 35 million. This is very similar. It might be more expensive because Scalvini has proven a little bit more, albeit did come off an ACL that he sustained before last season, recovered well. I think this is one of the most talented young defenders in Europe.
So it's your store. You're the bargain hunter. A manager walks in. Which one are you telling them to pick?
Honestly, for me, I would really be curious about that Barcelona situation at number 9. If there's a deal to be done for a really good player, whether it's Gavi or whether it's Fermín López, for me, would be the most likely. But I would be making calls at the end of the window. Hey, Barcelona, you got to register some players, right? You got to register some players. Let's see if maybe we can get a deal done so you can get some cash coming in and you give me one of your talented midfielders.